What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Sports Doctor Spock, Mickey Coleman, coming at you with another hot one. I know y'all probably recovering from the college football games last night, but we're going to talk a little bit about basketball history on this video anyway. Chad and Ocho have some interesting things to say about the Michael Jordan Isaiah Thomas beef. Shannon Sharpe tells Isaiah maybe he should let it go. Let's check what these fellas have to say about this beef.
Isaiah Thomas is back being petty with his basketball nemesis, Michael Jordan. During an appearance on Run It Back, Thomas was asked about his thoughts on the GOAT debate. This is what he had to say. This is what I don't understand about your era. You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he's nothing.
Yeah, he was talking about, in case you don't know, I saw the interview about LeBron James. Said that he was saying that his era was probably the golden age of basketball, and then they were talking about the 2000s era. But then he was talking about, well, you guys basically are playing with the best player, in his opinion, of all time, and y'all don't really treat him like nothing. And he says that Jordan is treated much better, basically.
Instead of pumping up your era, y'all go back and say this era was the greatest. You know, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody ever could be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay, and you turn around in your era, LeBron James is sitting there holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them. And you're looking at Kevin Durant, and you're looking at Steph Curry. But then when y'all talk about the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes.
Damn.
Hey, can you help me understand a little something? What is the beef between Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan? This feud has been going on for a very long time. I've seen it back and forth.
Yep.
I mean, I still don't understand what the beef is about.
Reportedly, allegedly, Isaiah was the lead that froze Jordan out in his first All-Star game.
Huh?
That's what the reports were. Then, when the Bulls finally took down the Pistons, they rushed off the court. They didn't shake Jordan's hand.
Okay.
Jordan then, in turn, it is reported, I think Sam Smith wrote in the book that Jordan agreed to be on the Dream Team as long as Isaiah wasn't on the team.
Okay.
Well,
the last one is really why Isaiah is really hurt by Jordan, because he feels like he should have been on it. Now, Isaiah was supposed to be on the 1980 Olympic team, but it was in Russia. We were having conflicts with Russia at the time, so the United States didn't go over there that year. So Isaiah couldn't go to compete for the gold medal that year as an amateur. Back then, we sent our best college kids overseas to compete in the Olympics. We didn't send pros or NBA players. We just didn't do it. And another thing, I'm kind of torn about this because Isaiah Thomas, being a Detroiter, me being from Detroit, is my basketball idol. If you're my age and you're a basketball fan, you're a Piston fan, you absolutely love Isaiah Thomas. But see, I think a little bit different, because I think Michael Jordan is the best player I ever seen. So I never hated Jordan, but I have a hard time putting him over Isaiah just because that's who I like the best. But I understand that Michael's a much, much better basketball player than even the great Isaiah.
The biggest star in the world was Michael Jordan. You want him on the team.
Right.
Isaiah deserved to be on the team.
No
Isaiah
doubt.
is a better point guard than John Stockton.
That's
So they've been
debatable,
going
but
at
I
it ever
think
since.
so. I think so. I think he was a much better player than John Stockton. John was good though. John has set you up. John Stockton set the little dirty picks to help free up Karl Malone. John Stockton to take a 17-foot jump shot and make it when he did shoot. all game, and he was kind of sneaky quick going to the basket. So John Stockton was a wonderful player, but even if you just go by the talent on that team, Christian Laettner, who was the best college player that year, or one, he was Shaquille O'Neal was the best college player that year. But the most well-known college player that year was Christian Laettner. So Christian got to be on that team, and Isaiah wasn't on that team. Mm, mm. It was a spot for Isaiah on that team that he could have had. And Isaiah's coach, Chuck Daly, coached that dream team. Nan Piston was on the dream team, but the coach was coached that team. Phil Jackson didn't coach the dream team. Chuck Daly did. And also, when you look at, I never believed Isaiah really frees Michael Jordan out of the All-Star game because I just didn't think, because during that first All-Star game, that wasn't but Isaiah's third year himself. I don't think he could tell them NBA veterans not to, I don't think he had that type of power yet to tell those NBA veterans to freeze Michael Jordan out that game. I just don't think so.
Well, that's
But
petty.
that started
And it
the
doesn't seem that it's ending anytime soon. Isaiah said, until he gives me an apology, it ain't never gonna end.
Well, I don't think Mike's going to be the one to apologize. Mike
Mike
probably
ain't
really.
apologizing for Ish. I just told I sure hope he ain't waiting on that.
Well,
I sure hope he
it's
ain't waiting on that apology.
hey, it's a weird feud, but it's one sided though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't heard Mike say nothing. I doubt
Mike
he
ain't gonna say nothing. Not publicly.
Right.
That ain't how y'all.
Mike called Isaiah Thomas an asshole on that Last Dance documentary. It's the only thing he said about Isaiah, publicly anyway, is that he called Isaiah basically an asshole and he couldn't stand him. Scottie Pippen said he couldn't stand Isaiah. And Charles Oakley comes out and says he couldn't stand Isaiah. So people are talking about Isaiah. It's just that Isaiah is such a fighter. You say one thing about him, and it's beef until you make it right. Even with Magic Johnson, who Isaiah loves, they had beefs for years until they got together and Magic helped make it right. They got together, hugged and cried, and did all that other stuff together. And now, him and Magic, cool. Again, these dudes used to kiss and shit. Well, just peck on the cheek. They weren't tonguing each other down before games, before they went to war in the 80s, because the 80s NBA basketball wasn't like like it is now. Some of these flagrants that people getting kicked out the game for wasn't even called back in the 80s. But carry on.
He operates.
Right. Well, shoot, Isaiah just I don't know. That's funny. That's funny, man. Poor Isaiah, man. He feeling left out.
He could, first of all, Ocho, you got to remember they boycotted in '80, so he missed an opportunity there to go to the Olympics.
I
The
just
U.S.
said that.
boycotted. The Olympics was in Moscow. But due to the occupation of the USSR and Afghanistan, President Carter would not send our Olympic team.
Right.
The Soviet Union did us a solid. They returned the favor in '84 when it was in L.A.
Yeah, at the Coliseum.
Damn.
And they won like 1,000 medals. Go back and look it up. And nobody's won as many medals as they did when it was in Russia.
Right.
Because obviously we weren't there. And there's some other teams, but nobody's ever won that many medals like they won. They won damn near everything. It wasn't close. Yes. But that was when they had a little, system going on.
Right. I know you talking about.
And that was when they had everything up under that umbrella. They had Belarus and you see how big Russia is, all those countries.
Oh, yeah,
that was before the fall in '88.
Right.
Of communism. So you can understand
Shannon
they had
Sharpe giving us
Georgia and Armenia and all of them was up under one umbrella.
A quick,
How you compete with that?
Mm.
But
a
anyway,
quick lesson over there in Europe of how the USSR was disbanded.
yeah, Ocho, Zeke ain't gonna let it go. I've had Zeke on the show. I talked to Zeke. I know Zeke. I like Zeke.
Yeah.
He loves football. He can tell. He can talk about any sports. He's very thoughtful. But that's the only thing that's missing on his resume is that Olympic, that dream team, and he knows
Right.
he's supposed to have been on that team.
But that doesn't take away from everything he's accomplished, huh? It doesn't.
When they talk about what they talk about, Ocho, they talk about the dream. You got the redeem team one, you got the redeem team two,
right.
but everything spurs off the dream team.
Right.
He's not a part of that. He's a two-time champ. He's an NCAA champ. He's a most outstanding player in the NCAA in '81. They won the championship over the Tar Heels.
Right.
Also a 1990 Finals MVP.
Right.
That was also the night. That was also that day Ronald
Two-time,
Reagan was almost assassinated by John Hinckley. I remember vividly.
two-time All-Star MVP.
Al Wood, Perkins, James Worthy, they lost to Isaiah, I think Randy Whitman, Ronaldo Turner,
Right.
because he ended up getting paralyzed that I think in that March or that April in a car accident. But yeah, that's the only thing missing, Ocho. He feels like his resume would be complete. He's a NCAA champ, most outstanding player. He's a Finals MVP. He's a two-time champ. He's an assist leader. He's an All NBA. He's an All Star.
Mhm. So you think he would be at peace?
He made the All-Star team every year he played in the NBA, I think, except his final year, which was his worst year, where he averaged like 14 and 8, which is a dream year for a lot of guys. That was Isaiah's worst year. That's when he was washed. 14 and 8. And I believe about a steal and a half a game. So, hey, that is the only thing missing off of his resume. Um, I hope that he can actually let this go though, just as somebody who loves Isaiah. I hope he can really just let this beef with Michael Jordan go because Mike's then moved on. I understand you had to defend yourself, when he called you an asshole or whatever. I understand you saying something about that, especially when Isaiah feels like he looked out for Michael Jordan when he first went to Chicago because Isaiah is from Chicago. So, this is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman. Let me know what y'all think about this video.